overseas somewhere, unless they're all on a pretty
They're
subpar
all
connection.
they're all in stereo right now, bro. They're right next to me.
All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna get the chants are pretty much lined up. Just have to switch Olaf. Straight out the gate, Malphite picks up the old school jungle clear of cloth and 5 armor pots.
Oh yeah, Malphite will definitely do more damage with that Con 5.
Oh, in this series, this is actually the first game of this series.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
We have Unfadable Gaming all coming down, and TF has a Sun card ready. I don't think he'll catch anyone there.
Nope. You saw early on that actually they're both going to switch blues. They're going to go do counter invades. But Corky's already going back. Is that Corky?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
Corky.
that's Corky. Corky and Lulu are going to go down, and I think they're going to check their own blue.
I hope they don't get caught at it.
They could get caught out here a little bit. It depends on the positioning coming out
They
from
have that ward right
My4Buffs.
there. Seems like every game we've seen, they exchange buffs in some way. Mo's going to keep that last volt there.
So they know that they're trading blue. Well, My4Buffs knows that they're trading blue.
Yes.
But if we watch for Sivir to come out on lane, they're not going to try and put any pressure. Seeing now, from Corky and Lulu's perspective, seeing them come out of the river right there, they now know that they've traded buffs. Like, both teams now know that the other team traded with them. The advantage, though, in this, I have to say, goes to My4Buffs, because they left up one little creep. So now My4Buffs knows the respawn timers of both blues, and it's a staggered respawn timer. So if My4Buffs decides to invade, they can pick up their blue, and even if Unfadable knows that their blue is being taken, they cannot counter that because Unfadable's, or rather My4Buffs' blue is not going to be up yet.
It won't be, no. Yeah. Let's see here. How lane's going so far? Junglers are basically marrying each other. They're going the same pace.
Yeah.
I expect to see gank top soon by Momo.
Yeah, after their respective reds get grabbed up, I would really like to see a Moo come up top. I want to see more ganks up in the top lanes, and actually Moomoo's going to pick that up and go straight down to his wraiths.
He has too little help. Actually, not too little help, but wraiths are definitely more beneficial than
Top lane, the Bruiser's just exchanging blows back and forth, punishing for that extra CS. Jax's poke, though, his ability to jump on you and hit you with that W, that gives him just a little bit more of an advantage in the early game, because that will really chunk you down. And that's the best way to play Jax effectively, is drop that in. Oh, and Leona comes across, and actually the Boomerang Blade does not hit from Sivir. So there's a little bit subpar on the positioning. I think that could have gone better, and they could have actually put some serious damage down.
Here comes a gank top by Malphite. We'll see how this goes.
And
I think Jax knows. Oh,
Jax doesn't know. And there he goes.
This might be a stun?
Yep, double stun. That might actually save him.
And that's flash. And it does so. The escape, from Jax, always, this... The fact that he has Q, he'll always be able to escape and not, a weaker type ganker, Malphite.
Yeah, he is. The problem with Malphite is early on he has no hard CC for his ganks. Yes, he's got his Q, so he's some slow, especially when he has red. And Moo actually coming around from the backside for first blood on Leona.
Wow.
Coming through their own tri-bush. So he went down through their jungle and through their tri-bush in order to pick up that kill. And a flash is burning mid from TF as Malphite just shows himself. and throws down a ground slam and does not do much more than that. Mumu's
Yeah,
watching him go
this-
off into Malphite's jungle, and actually a Mumu looks like he might be looking for a gank in mid.
This
Brand's
might
a little pushed
backfire.
up,
Yep, this might backfire. Nope.
and a
it's
flash is
fine.
burned from Brand.
Oops. Mids do not have their flashes currently. Neither of those jacks.
So flash is burned all over the place.
And here we see a Momo coming to the top. We'll see, most likely.
Olaf is
Oh.
very overextended. He does not have his ult yet. He pops Ghost.
Yes, Ghost. He might turn on. Oh,
I don't think he has enough damage. Oh, and Mumu gets the kill. That's going to be 2 successful
everybody's
ganks,
burnt their
2
flashes.
kills for Mumu, and at this point, he is going to be looking to be a big presence in this mid game.
Oh yeah.
You know, the problem with Mumu, he kind of has a slower clear time early on. You really want to get the GP10s rolling, and definite mana issues if you want to clear fast. But if you're able to get those 2 successful kills and get the first blood, get the second blood, I mean, that's a ton of gold. You know, you'd always rather see your lane get the kill, but in the absence of anyone getting the kill, you definitely want to take it for yourself. And I think Amumu is a good pick to pick up that kill in those situations. That's just going to put him ahead, and he's going to be able to help out the lanes a lot better. Sivir getting chunked down really low below her turret, and it
Yeah.
feels like they're sitting around for too long. But
Amu's just still in there.
Amumu is not coming up.
What is the Momo building? Maybe going VP10s, yes.
Yeah,
Boots
he
Mob.
already got his Boots and Mob and his first heart of gold.
That is a really good first back with a couple wards, a full GP10. Now he's just ready to go around and just make everybody. Those 2 kills definitely put him ahead.
We see
Oh.
Malphite and Brand pressuring Blue over here. And it seems like Unfadable knows they're there. I think Malphite's going to try and ult. No, he's not going to. He's going to smite steal it. Yep. Alright, now I expect them to go straight to their blue buff, and he's going to hand that over to Brand. Well, up top again, the trades between Jax and Olaf. Olaf is definitely taking the worst half of those trades. And it'll take a little while for him to, you know, get his reckless swing built up a little bit, because once you get that up, that true damage it's really going to hurt people. And you actually see him miss his reckless strike there and do it on a creep instead, which is unfortunate, because now in the trades, Jax is very close to being able to push us at the turret, and you actually can see Amumu moving up right now for that turret dive.
Oh, and there's that right there. Olaf doesn't have ulti, but there's no kill potential at all for
And
Olaf.
Malphite was just a step behind. And we actually see TF burn his ultimate to get back in the lane. He had moved up into the river to help out on that dive if it was needed, but he decided to just pop his ult and get back in the lane instead of falling behind.
Definitely smart use of his ulti, since he already popped it.
Here's the trade-off of Blue going over to Brand. That's going to give him a little bit more wave clear capabilities. Maybe use that, you know, push his lane a bit, and maybe roam and try and help his lanes out, because right now they're starting to fall behind. And they're falling behind in a recoverable way. You know, Amumu's been getting the kills. He's got all 3 kills for Unfadable, which is, in this situation, the second best person you want your enemy to have. The only thing better than that would be Lulu having all of the kills.
Yes, and I'll see that anytime soon.
So
And
I mean,
we have a Momo picking up oracles, actually. Not using it quite yet.
and that's the advantage of getting that first blood. I mean, that's just about a free oracles right there, and that will only extend your ganking potential. You know, you're able to clear out those wards after just a little bit of, you know, prep time walking in.
How's farm going?
It's
Yeah, it seems
pretty even
even all
across the
across the
board,
board.
except for in bot lane.
Lane, yeah.
The amount of poke that's been coming out from Corki and the early successful gank from Amumu has really put Sivir behind, because that early death by Leona left Sivir in lane by herself, so she was zoned out from CS by the dual lane bot. With her being there by herself, she started taking damage. So then, once Leona came back, she was still too low health to do much of anything. Gank coming down in the middle, actually. Amumu drops his ult and picks up another kill. It just seems like he's going to be their go-to guy for these kills, because right now his team is just getting him all lined up for him. I don't think this is intentional, but it's one of those things that you can kind of watch for as one of those keys to the game. You know, hopefully this doesn't come back and bite him later on. Down bot, they're trying to put a hurt down. We saw all the stuns, Malphite all coming down underneath the turret. This is not going to be a dead Lulu. She will survive this. And they're going to turn it around with TF counter gank. And Mumu is already down there. And what was a 3v2 with a gank under turret actually turned into a 4v2 or 4v3, and it went.
And Ola and Jack's getting killed top right now.
Yep,
as well.
On a turret dive. So that's basically 3 for none in favor of Unfadable Gaming, and they're gonna go ahead and take this free dragon because there's not a thing that My4Buffs can do about it.
They are just completely dominating them in always CS and kills.
He has slain a dragon.
We have 61 to 46 CS Olaf, and Olaf has 3 deaths already. He's not building any GP10s. If I were Olaf personally, I would definitely try the GP10 approach and try to go for late game.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's pretty typical actually with Olaf. Even in a game that you're not, behind, you want to go for more disruption. All of your damage is going to come from your E, your Ruckful strike, your Ruckful swing. And so you build up the Philo Stone for a little bit more of your Q harass in lane. You build up your Heart of Gold to give you some health to get behind. You never really have to build damage items just because of your passive armor pen and just the amount of health that you can stack onto yourself.
Look at the items down bottom. I mean, it seems like what's it called? Unfadable Gaming. Just like look at the items in themselves.
Oh, they're absolutely pulling ahead. You can see a Vamp Scepter and Berserker Greaves coming out from Sivir, while Corki's already working on his Triforce. He's got that Phage, he's already got Berserker Greaves, Vamp Scepter, and he's got 2 Dorns. So I mean, he is way ahead right now as far as items. So I think they're gonna need to sit back and they're gonna have to try and farm this out instead of trying another one of those turret dives that backfired just so terribly for them.
This is the perfect time to farm. Like, they cannot farm later on. If they try and farm later on, they'll just get turret dived. Let's sit there and do our best to CS under turret, I guess. Malphite went in with ultimate and smite stealing.
And this, I believe, is gonna backfire. Actually, there we go. We have Brand coming out and doing some damage.
That's Oracles.
They got the Oracles and the Shutdown. That was a huge, huge turnaround. And Corki almost walked right into a Zenith Blade.
Corki is there's backfiring right now.
TF does go down. That was just an insane amount of action around that blue buff right there. And still up top, we have Olaf popping his ult, and an Ignite, and Ghost, and he's actually going to turn around and run away from Jax.
Jax is, Only Jax's Q is up.
So, all told, I believe that went 2 for 2, with blue buff ending up on Brand. I think he's going to go over and get his own blue buff now, just to maintain control of their buffs. No.
My4Buffs got an Oracle out of that, so...
Oh, absolutely. The trade does go to them. Oh, Jack's about to walk into Brand right here. There it is.
And that's probably dead next.
Nope. He jumps over to Mumu, and he's going to make it.
That passive Ignite, OP.
So now Brand will go ahead and pick up his own blue buff. And things don't look so dire now. It is still 9-2. Still down. Say again?
About 7,000 gold, 9-2.
Yeah.
And the CS difference soundbar is just...
Oh my goodness. Brand
Man,
just stayed a little too long. And so now the double buffs does get passed over to TF now.
If you TF with this passive, red buff isn't too terrible. Not passive, it's E actually.
Yep.
It does make ADTF quite viable.
And not as viable as was last season. I remember seeing that quite a bit. They'd go with that attack speed.
Now I have TF pushing mid, probably gonna get this one turret easily. I do not agree with Malphite's decision of taking rates instead of defending mid.
I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking about. Maybe he underestimated the amount of damage that TF could put on that turret. That's one thing that TF definitely brings to the table, is his ability to push down those turrets. Because his cards, you know, he pops out a blue card, that's doing extra damage to the turret. And he's getting mana back from it.
Yeah.
And actually up top we have a Moo showing on Olaf, but Olaf had a ward and decided it was best for him to just back off.
Malphite has the most fun on the team, which is pretty funny, I guess. Not anymore. Brand is pulling ahead. But the CS difference, like, is amazing. Not a single person on My4Buffs has 100 CS. And 3 people on Unfadable Gaming has over 100 CS, so there's definitely a huge difference in terms of items taking gold right now. They're pulling out to be tanky gold ahead right now.
And they are trying to get this gank down on bot lane. The damage is there from Sivir, but they don't want this to go into a trade situation. Actually, Leona's going to go ahead and get caught out here as ults come in from all directions. I don't know. They might try and push his wave down and dive them at turret. They're so far ahead at this point that I think they can without too much difficulty. Up top, Olaf is about to go down to Jax underneath the turret. At this point, it's looking bad on all fronts. Brand is really the person that's got to pull this together. And with that ward that Unfadable had, actually there's a kill down on bot lane at that turret dive that I called earlier. And they're continuing to dive down on Sivir, who is going to get chunked down. Jax makes it out safely, and Unfadable's going to turn around and take yet another dragon.
It's dragon and possibly a bottom turret as well.
I think definitely a bottom turret.
They're just playing way ahead in gold right now. It will be very hard to come back to them, but they have a very strong laking My4Buffs that is. Like, Malphite ultimate to Brand ulti is amazing.
See, the problem with that, though, is you have to at least keep it close. I mean, we're at 18 minutes here, and it's, you know, 13k difference, and Leona just got, you know, by TF there. So right now we have people that are getting overextended from My4Buffs, and you know they got to bring it in, get some wards down. Because again, remember what happened last game? You know, one team is maintaining all the wards, and they dominate. You know, this should serve as a big lesson to people. You know, wards win games. It's 75 gold. Yeah, it sucks in the early game, but man, does it pay off. And I think it can really show here. And I mean, the moves that My4Buffs have made as far as counter jungling and everything were really set up by the ward coverage, and they kind of got away from that. It seems like they're feeling a little overwhelmed now, and they're trying to conserve some of their gold spending. And I don't think that that's the best mentality to have. Actually, we have 3 coming up top for gank onto Jax. And actually, TF's going to ult in, and Jax is going to turn this around with a Moo. Things are just going so terribly right now for My4Buffs.
It's going downhill.
Leona gets caught out by Corki, and she's just not tanky enough right now to survive through that barrage.
It will be very hard to come back, but I don't see it possible right now.
Yeah, they're 15, just shy of 15k behind, and it's not even 20 minutes left. I expect a 20-minute GG to come out.
10 more seconds and we'll find out.
It'd be, I think, best at this point to, consolidate your losses. Like, yeah, that went terribly for us. Regroup, kind of get your breath together, and come back for the next game. They actually did pull down an inhib turret, but were not able to get the inhib because Olaf and Brandon already respawned. That's the problem with these early pushes, is that because of the respawn timer, yeah, you got a double kill there, triple kill if you include Leona, but because everyone's so low level, especially on My4Buffs, they're able to respawn in time to save their inhib. Because hands down, if that inhib went down, the game was automatically over. There was no coming back from that. Actually, Leona catching out.
Leona's coming out of nowhere. Leona
And she's
is...
gonna go down. It's just, there's not enough damage coming out from this team. We have an early Aegis. This is
that's a complete
gone south very, very quickly.
Alright. And there's the GG.
Good game, guys.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the amount of awards that Unfadable Gaming bought, and it's so much more than...
Absolutely. You can look at them right now. I mean, they got 4 people on their team, including their
with 2
AD
awards
carry,
each.
holding award.